Hi everyone, welcome to Factify. Christopher Nolan's epic Dark trilogy started off a new era in comic book movies and redefined how comic book movies can be made. So today let's take a look at some awesome facts about the movie that kicked off one of the best movie trilogies of all time. Early work on the script and the production design was conducted in the back of Christopher Nolan's garage. Sometimes during the writing process, Nolan and David Esquire took walks near the site of the original Batcave from Tim Burton's 1966 Batman movie. Christian Bale, Joshua Jackson, Ian Bailey, Hugh Dancy, Billy Crudup, Cillian Murphy, Henry Cavill, and Jake Gyllenhaal all auditioned for the part of Bruce Wayne. While Bale won the part, Christopher Nolan liked Murphy's audition so much he cast him as Dr. Jonathan Crane, aka the Scarecrow. During the audition process, actors were asked to play as Bruce Wayne and then as Batman. They were given the Batman costume used by Val Kilmer in Batman Forever for this purpose. Heath Ledger, who won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his portrayal of Joker in the sequel The Dark Knight, was considered for the role of Bruce Wayne during the early development of the film. Initially, the major cast members were not told that the movie was a Batman movie, as the script they were sent was titled The Intimidation Game. After reading the title, Michael Caine assumed the script was for some kind of a gangster movie. Christopher Nolan's dark and realistic take on Batman was to an extent inspired from the 1982 Ridley Scott classic Blade Runner. He even invited the whole film crew to a private screening of Blade Runner before the production began. After the film, he said to the crew, "This is how we are going to make Batman." When he was considered for the role of Batman, Christian Bale was terribly underweight due to his part in the film Machinist. After being cast, Christopher Nolan told him to become as big as he can be, and after just 6 months, Bale gained over 100 pounds and ended up having to shed about 20 pounds to be able to fit into the Batsuit. In the opening fight sequence, where Wayne and Ducard are debating the number of criminals Wayne was fighting, there are actually 7, meaning Wayne was right. The language used by actor Ken Watanabe is not a language at all. It's just some gibberish he made up himself for the role. An unforeseen problem with the scene in the Ninja Training Academy was that Liam Neeson, being 6 foot 4 inches tall, towered over the rest of the men. This was quickly solved by putting most of the ninjas on wooden blocks. The scene where Christian Bale and Liam Neeson were fighting on the frozen lake was actually pretty dangerous than what it seemed. While shooting, they could hear the ice cracking beneath their feet, and the lake completely melted the next day. Christian Bale's active dislike of his uncomfortable Batman outfit helped his performance as the Dark Knight, as he was perpetually in a foul mood while wearing it. The character Rachel Dawes does not exist in Batman comics. She was created for Christopher Nolan's purposes in the plot of his trilogy. The depiction of Wayne Tower in the movie is based on Chicago Board of Trade building. Even though he has been part of the Batman lore since 1941, this is the first live-action appearance by Scarecrow. Initially, Christopher Nolan didn't want Scarecrow to have a mask, but screenwriter David Esquire was able to convince him otherwise. In the movie, Bruce Wayne is shown driving a Lamborghini Murcielago. The word Murcielago is Spanish for bat, although the car itself was named after a prized bull to honor Ferruccio Lamborghini's passion for bullfighting. That being said, it's still a cool coincidence. The Batmobile, 9 feet wide and 16 feet long, has a top speed of 106 miles per hour and can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6 seconds. It was designed and built by Chris Gobold and Andrew Smith at Shepperton Studios in England. This Batmobile was built from the ground up and is estimated to be worth £500,000. 5 Batmobiles in total were made for the film. Contrary to the previous Batman films, no visual effects were used in this film to show the Batcave. The entire Batcave is instead a massive wood-scale set. Much of Batman's gear and apparel, including his cape and suit, is based on actual military technology. The daylight coming through the windows of Wayne Manor was created by a single 100,000-watt floodlight which weighed nearly 400 pounds. During filming of the scene where Batman is being towed by a train through the streets of Gotham, so much steam was used that it would rain for several minutes after each take. In the shot of the newspaper, the story about burning down of Bruce Wayne's mansion is credited to Julie Occhipinti. The name of the movie is Assistant Set Decorator. The Joker playing card presented to Batman at the end of the film is a replica of the Joker card from the 1989 graphic novel Arkham Asylum by Grant Morrison and Dave McKean. It carries an evidence label that reads the officer who discovered it was Jay Kerr, aka Joe Kerr, one of the Joker's favorite aliases in the comic books. Despite being a Batman movie, the word Batman is said only 10 times throughout the film. Christian Bale lost his voice 3 times during filming after making the Batman voice. The film's title went through many changes. First, it was known as Batman 5, it became Batman the Frightening for a while to prevent script leaks and to throw off public. It was then titled The Intimidation Game before finally settling on Batman Begins. Hans Zimmer named the tracks in the soundtrack after different types of bats. The first letters of tracks 4 to 9 in the soundtrack spell, you guessed it, Batman. This is the first live-action Batman film produced and released after the death of Batman creator Bob Kane in 1998. This is also the first film to not have Kane as project consultant. The film's marketing costs of $100 million were at the time the most ever spent on one film. At the time of the film's release, Forbes magazine did a breakdown of how much it would actually cost to become Batman. The magazine estimated that the total expenses would be around $3.5 million. The film inspired James Bond producers Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli to reboot the James Bond franchise and reinvent the character of British secret agent by making him much darker and more realistic with Casino Royale. That's all for today guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe and drop a like below. Feel free to leave your suggestions and comments in the comment section. I will see you in my next video. Take care.